Don't mind me, guys. I'm just trying to get going here. I guess we're not going to have an intro. Now I got to get this off the screen. There we go. How's everybody doing? This is driving me crazy. This StreamYard. My brain's still on vacation. I'm just trying to get my things organized and still. Oh well. I'm gonna bring out my guest from the basement. We got Rocky. Let's see what we got in chat. Oh, we got Kenny.
Hello, Kenny and Danny.
Daily Doses of the Bible. And then we got Liz for Carnival Cruise Addicts. Hello, Liz. And we got Roxanne. Oh, there she is. And we got Deity. Oh, we got Chris. Hello, Chris. I got some shorts coming up that I tagged you in, Chris, so you'll have to watch for those. My son went and brought me supper. Still too hot. I got to remove this. There we go. So I said, what happened? So anybody that was in here last week knows I was on vacation at Lake of Dreams Campground and attended M25. I've released a couple videos or shorts. I got a whole bunch more to come out. So you can watch for those. I was trying to do that today, but I was busy with my aunt's. Her government checks come in, so she wanted to get all her errands done. So, don't mind me. I'm just looking for tissue. My notes are ready. So, and what a lot of fun. I met some channels I knew that hadn't met in person. Met a bunch of people that are just like van lifers or RVers that don't have a channel. They only have Facebook, so there's a lot of cool people we met that way. And got to know a few other YouTubers a little better this time that I've met before, and then I wasn't sure how I felt about them, and it's like got to know them better. It's like, yeah, they're pretty cool. So I'll be sharing some of their stuff too. I shared some of my stickers, and I got some stuff back here. I got a sticker from Tina. Tina's the Outsider. I'm not going to put them too close because then they'll make me go all blurry. We had Cruising with the Colemans back, and they did their cocktails with the Colemans on Friday night. Had the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Oh, I'll have to show you something Jeff taught us there. I got meat. Time for Exploring. Tim and Duke. And then we had Mobang was there and made us egg rolls on Saturday night for the potluck. He made egg rolls for everybody. And then Monday he was still there with us and he had some rice wraps. So he made me spring rolls with whatever things we had left over. So it was pretty good brunch on Monday. So it was a nice vacation. Oh, there was also Dan, the Vintage RVer. Got a little button. Actually, I got a couple of them. And then, I don't know if anybody remembers me doing an interview with Dennis from Campfires and Dirty Tires. He gave me a air freshener thing, but she can't use it, so I've got it for now. I think that was all the things. Georgianne Rose made all these little beaded. She had hearts and then she had little keys. So I got one of those keys. Played bingo. I sucked at bingo. It was candy bar bingo, and you'd either paid $5 or 5 candy bars to buy in to a pack of tickets. And then they had over 100 candy bars, and they were divided into 5 groups. So if you won, you bingo by yourself, you got like 28 candy bars.
Mhm.
If you had to share with somebody, then it was divided down by the number of people. So some people got 28, some people got 14. But all the nice people that won were sharing them with everybody else because, like, what am I going to do with 28 candy bars? I came close on one of them. Nope, not the full card. It was the outside square. I was down to two left. One here and one over here. And somebody bingo just ahead of us. So that was fun. It's okay. He sucked in the casino last week. 1 second. I'll go get the other things to make. I meant to grab it before and I left it on the other side. Grabbed everything else. So Jeff from the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla taught us how to make camp stoves out of a pop can, and it burns isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. It was pretty cool. I tested it out at the end, and then Call Me V taught a tie dye class, and this is my resulting tie dye shirt. Got
I
more
like
color,
that.
got more color on the sleeves, but than anything. But just let it dry, and then I gotta hand wash it and soak it with some salt water, or vinegar, or whatever it is to set it. She was going to give me some of the dye to take home, but I forgot to get it. So I'd like to try something that has more color to it. There was a lot of cool um, shirts. Some people have been sharing what their shirt turned out to be. So that's what happened. And the other what happened is what happened. What has happened and what significant date is coming up. And that significant date would be tomorrow. And I'll see if I can share this. Share this video. See if it's going to work. Okay, you gotta move so I can see whether it's working or not. Come on. Nope. Come on. Doesn't want to move. Oh, come on. Okay, that one. Share. And come on. Play. Started with a shit you can't dream in my hand, just me and my screen, no master plan. Click record, no rewind, no fear. 4 years later, we're still here. Through the glitches, the crashes, the late nights. Built up, we're pixel by pixel in the bylights. 4 years strong, we keep the vibe alive. Hit play on the memories we thrive. From zero to this, we rise and belong. 4 years, baby, we're going strong. First I felt like gold in my veins. Comments rolled in like summer rains. Inside jokes and a fam so tight. Built a kingdom from the glow of the light. Through the trolls and the doubters we stood tall. Hit a boat and we entered the call. 4 years strong, keep the vibe alive. Hit play on the memories we thrive. From zero to this, we rise and belong. 4 years, baby, we're going strong. So tomorrow is my 4-year anniversary of going live on YouTube. So it's in the last year, I've gone up by 200 subscribers. So that was a decent jump. Still working on the 1,000, but we're working on it. So another year, maybe we'll get there. And then another significant date coming up is on Saturday. Somebody in the chat has a birthday. Anybody know whose birthday it is?
Would it be Danny D's or Kenny's?
It would be Kenny's. Kenny will be 31 on Saturday. Yeah, sorry, Kenny. I didn't get a chance to make you a video this year. Give me 1 second, buddy. Will I just get the birthday boy up there? Yep, Danny's in March. And I know Liz is in February. Chris is in June. Roxanne's in July. See anybody else in this chat that I don't know when their birthday is? Nope, I think I know everybody's in the chat. I got a thing with dates. I'm sorry. One thing I have a pretty good memory for dates. Oh, look who's there.
Howdy, guys.
Hey, Kenny.
Thanks, guys, for the birthday wishes early.
Yeah, I made a birthday video last year for his 30th, but I didn't get time to make any videos other than that little 4-year thing.
I understand, no worries.
So how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. Been hanging in. I'm on day 104 with no seizure activity. Today,
Awesome.
As of today, it's 104.
That's very good.
Hey, Kenny, you got something coming up in 64 days?
Yes. The Norwegian Encore, the rock and roll tribute cruise. We're helping hands for cruising.
I only know that because Jen's been counting down the dates every day in the chat on that one. Oh, 60, it was 60 something. No, it's 64. That was 68.6 yesterday. Danny's asking how Papa's doing.
He's hanging in there is about all I can say right now. He's had a couple of setbacks in his health, so yeah. Unfortunately, he has to wear a permanent catheter the rest of his life. Ouch.
I had a client that had that,
But they're going to have to actually change it out here pretty soon because they're supposed to change it out like every 30 days. So, but yeah, that's other than that, he's pretty much hanging in there.
that's good. But he's 76?
He will be 76 February the 11th, 2026.
Surprising, 75 or 76? I kind of lost.
He's already 75, so he'll be turning 76 February the 11th of 2026, which I hope and pray that he does make it to that.
I don't know how I keep track of dates, Liz. They just happen to stick in my head. Something's always significant around that date, and then it sticks in my head.
But I do cherish those moments. I do cherish those moments I do get with my dad. So I cherish those every day. So
You kind of have to, and I'm glad that you're near your dad. My birth mother is still alive, but she is in Edmonton, so that's like at least a 4 hour flight, 3 days driving, like which I don't have the vehicle that I can take and drive for 3 days. And last I heard, she was in hospital. So
oh wow.
her sister, my aunt, has been keeping me up to date on things that are going on, but she's
I hope all goes well with that.
but she seems to be doing okay. They thought she had like a minor heart attack or something, but
Ouch.
she's also developed some dementia, I guess, over the last year. So I only know what my aunt tells me. So the one aunt that I've met. So hopefully things improve, and my aunt's kind of thinking, and I agree that she probably needs to go into a retirement home or something like that.
Or into a nursing home facility or
Yeah,
something like that.
she was staying in a, they called it a lodge, but it was a place that like each had their own little room apartment thing, but they didn't have a stove or a microwave. They had a little fridge for keep their drinks, but they want go down to the main dining room.
It was basically like an assisted living, pretty
Yeah,
much.
kind of like that.
Okay.
But she was responsible for taking her own medication, and like granted at the time she was on like 2 pills a day, and she took them at night.
Mm-hmm.
But when she goes home to the hospital, she's going to be on like 8 pills a day, and there could be various times during the day. So she would be better off somewhere where somebody else can control the medication and make sure she's getting them at the right time. I feel bad that I'm not out there, but I can't afford to drop things and run across the country. And
I understand.
the plan all along was for her to move this way, but that didn't happen. So,
Hmm.
and I
Well,
have,
yeah, I always tell people to enjoy and cherish those moments that you have with your loved ones because you never know when it might be your last.
exactly, and I'm kind of doing that with my aunt. She's she's in her late 70s, and she's doing really well now since her surgery and stuff like that. But I'm enjoying spending the time with her, and we chat about stuff and reminisce about stuff, and then because her daughter's way up in Nineveh, and takes her at least 2 days to get home. I don't know, they had what they thought was an emergency with her dad a couple of years ago, and it took her 2 days to get home. And my thoughts are, what if something critical happens, and what's best you can do is come home 2 days later. I know I couldn't be away from my family like that. Except to do a little vacation thing. That's about the only time I'm too far away from home.
I understand.
That was a nice break last week in M25.
I missed everybody. Like I said, I was. Of course, I've had some health issues myself, and thankfully I'm getting back to my normal baseline, so to speak.
I'm so glad, Kenny.
Yeah. So and like I said, I was also saving up my funds for the cruise coming up. So that was another reason why I didn't take on going to the meetup this year. But maybe next year, 2026.
Maybe it was a lot of cool people there. Captain Jack was there. Tim Mobang was there,
I've actually met Captain Jack and Tim.
and Tim Time for Exploring was there. I think Was he in Oregon? Can't remember. What they said.
Yeah, he was at the yeah he was at the Oregon meetup. Yeah,
Danny's asking if you're going to Helen in March.
that I'm not sure yet. Uh, I gotta wait till a little bit closer to time because I've got another doctor's appointment coming up here on the 2nd of October, which is actually, I think, is next Thursday, isn't it?
Yep,
Is that correct?
that's correct. Uh-oh.
No, put me on mute.
Danny says
But,
she'd like to meet you if you do.
yeah, I would love to meet you too. The thing about it is that speaking of doctor, I've got to go to the neurologist in Asheville, so I got to be there at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So that means I'll have to leave here around 8 o'clock that morning because it's about a 2-hour drive, an hour and a half to 2-hour drive to get to Asheville. So I'm hoping that they take me off my Keppra, kind of wean me off of it, so to speak. So, yeah.
We'll see see what they say.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, the neurologist that prescribed them in Tennessee, he at the time he prescribed them, he talked like he wanted me. Here's how he put it. He said, "I want you to take these for 2 months and see how you do and go from there." But he didn't give no specific day or a scheduled follow-up. Well, come to find out, he has not taken North Carolina patients.
Okay.
So I had to find a neurologist in North Carolina
To follow up.
to follow up, and they're going to have to go back on my records and go from there and and decide on whether to keep me on it or wean me off of it. Which I'm hoping that they wean me off of it because the neurologist that prescribed it in Tennessee talked like he did not want me to have to take it the rest of my life. So,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have to take it if you didn't have to.
yeah. But right now, I'm still continuing taking it until otherwise.
Hello, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal. But yeah, I take 1,000 milligrams in the morning and 1,000 milligrams at night. And it's one of them big old horse pills they call
Oh, that's horrible.
it.
I can't stand horse pills. No.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them, and so I'm basically getting 2,000 milligrams of Keppra a day. So
That's a lot. Sounds like a lot. I would take a horse pill. I remember one time I was on antibiotics for a strep throat, and the pills were like this huge, and I'm like, how am I supposed to swallow that? I'm already having trouble swallowing. I'm trouble swallowing my own spit, and you want me to swallow that?
I understand. I mean, I mean, I just never, but thankfully I don't have no problem swallowing them. So,
That's good.
Now I
Yeah.
know you're going on the cruise in November, but the doctor gave you okay with the new shunt and everything to fly.
yeah, as a matter of fact, the neurosurgeon, the one that actually did the shunt revision back in, I think it was July the 8th, I believe, when I last saw him. He actually gave me to go ahead and do whatever I wanted to do. I have no restrictions, so.
That's good.
Well, I'm glad because I've heard of some people with shunts. They get up in the air and they get really bad headaches because of the pressure changing and all.
Yeah, he said he actually encouraged me to be more mobile. So he said the more active I am, the better
Yep.
the better I am. So and he didn't give me no restrictions. And as a matter of fact, he's actually released me to where I don't even have to even go see him anymore. So he said him and his PA that works with him, his physician assistant, both said you have graduated from us. So
That's good because I was kind of scared when you had the dizzy spells and all that other stuff going and the seizures going on.
there again, they didn't. The neurosurgeon does not have anything to do with that type of stuff, with the seizure activity, because it has to be the neurologist, because the neurologist is the one that prescribed because I found out there's a difference between the neurosurgeon and the neurologist. The difference is the neurosurgeon deals more with like doing surgery, like with shunts and things like that. And the neurologist deals more with like the brain activity, like your brain waves and 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 how your brain works and things like that. That's the difference.
Both have
And
something to do with the brain, but does the surgery and one does the a day to day kind of.
yeah, and so they because I thought they were all the same thing, but I thought neurosurgeon and neurologist was the same thing, but no, they told me it was two different things. I was like, okay, but
Yeah, because the neurologist can deal with the different diseases of the brain as well too. So
okay, but he asked me. He said, "How's your vision and headaches and stuff like that?" And I said, "It's doing pretty good." And I said, "I feel really good." And he said, "Well, I think what had to happen was my brain and things had to get used to the new shunt and new valve, and that's the reason why I was having those vision problems where my vision was blurred, because it was still healing in the healing
yeah,
process."
it's like,
And
hey, something's new in here. What's going on?
because everything is new, so, and it's adjustable. So if they need to adjust it, of course, the only way they can adjust it now is go upward with it now because they've got it on the lowest setting as it will go, and that's on 30. So, and that means I'm draining pretty fast. So, because the lower the setting is, the faster that thing drains. The higher the setting is, the slower that thing drains.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that. I thought it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
You can go up as high, they told me, as high as 200. And that means that you'd be draining pretty slow. But there's two factors that can cause headaches with these shunts. Is one, you can be draining not enough, and two, you can be draining too much.
Yeah.
So therefore, they had to play around with it and figure out which setting was the best. And that first they tried setting it on 40, and that wasn't working. Then they upped it to like 60 or 70, and then that wasn't working. So then they lowered it all the way down as low as it would go, which is 30. And that seemed to be because they had to find my happy medium as to what my body would adjust to it and get used to. So 30 seems to be it. So
Danny says, glad you're doing good, Kenny, and I'm glad you're on the mend.
yeah.
Here for a while.
I feel like I'm getting back to my old self now. So
That could be a problem.
and of course I'm getting home health PT, but they're fixing to turn me loose as well because they've asked me the other day if I felt like I was getting back to my norm. And I said, yes. I've been doing my own cleaning, my own bathing, and doing my own daily task, and
Yeah. You can do your activities of daily living. You're on your own. You're
yeah.
pretty much set.
Yeah, when I first got sick and stuff, I was weaker than like dishwater, so to speak. I was really weak in body and wasn't very functionable.
That's scary for a young man.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, very.
When you can't do a simple task, make a cup of coffee, you know something's wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I was definitely at that point. I was definitely at that point to where I just couldn't do nothing. I mean, I just so weak. And,
This is just put the coffee in the microwave. I think it goes in there most of the time.
I did make a fresh pot this morning about 8 o'clock, I believe it was.
You drink as much coffee as my dad used to.
But I also top it off with a lot of water too. So I drink about, I would say, if not right at it or close to it, almost a gallon of water a day.
That's good.
Because I drink those, I don't know if you've seen those 40 packs of bottled water that you can buy at Walmart. It's like 16.9 fluid ounces of water.
Yeah.
I drink at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 of those a day.
Jimmy says he blows up his toilet. And Kenny needs what's it, the mug? Like, I think my youngest still has his. My oldest had one that says "Coffee makes me poop." So I try to drink as many as I can of these. That's 16 ounces a day. But I used to be long as it was ice water, I was good. And then I started using the Crystal Light flavors, and now I don't drink as much if I don't have the Crystal Light. But Scott says the same thing.
Well, see, I'm not allowed to. I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but I'm not allowed to use the water here at the apartment complex. The only thing I'm allowed to do with it is wash my dishes and uh, take a bath with it. That's all. I'm not allowed to drink it or cook with it or nothing like that.
Is that everybody or just you?
That's everybody around here, I reckon. Cause
I guess that's when I'd get me a filter, water filter and filter. So you can at least cook with it.
now, of course, most things I cook anyway is usually in the microwave anyhow. So I don't hardly use the stove that much.
Yeah, Brita filter or
So we have 2 Brita jugs downstairs, and us all I drink is the water that's been through the Brita because
I just know that I was told by the landlord herself when I first moved in here to not drink or use the water from the tap.
that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And it says for the quality.
And there's people here around me that don't. There's people around here that don't live in these apartments. They don't even use the. I think it's the Bakersville City water. I think or something like that. They don't even. They even said they don't even use their own water from their own house to drink.
Wow.
So.
I just find because we're on the lake and our water comes from the lake, so it goes to the water treatment plant right up on the junction between the lake and the river. And some days, depending on the quality of the water, how rough the lakes has been, sometimes they put a lot of chemicals in that, and you can literally smell the chlorine in the water. And I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I can smell it sometimes, and I said, nope, I don't want it.
But I can put it through the Brita filter, and it tastes fine.
I like some good old spring water, right from the spring, you know.
That's good. I know what. I don't know if we were able to or not at the campground, but we bought big jugs of spring water and drank that and just used the water out of the hose there for dishes and stuff like that. Well, they probably did, Liz. The water we drink, the fishes have peed in it, so that's why we have filtered.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, and you'd go to Florida and turn it on, you smell all that sulfur. I'm going, I don't want to drink that. It just stunk. Bad.
I think they said that the water from at the campground was from a well water system. So yeah, I think that's why we brought water to drink.
Yeah. Well, see, the reason why I drink a lot of water on top of drinking all that coffee is because I was told that coffee is a diuretic and it can dehydrate.
Yep.
So that's the reason why I replenish my system with water. So
Well, this says they have a carbon filter on. House tastes much better. I would like to get one of those Brita filters that goes right on the tap, but they replaced our taps uh, just before this landlord took over, and I don't want to mess around with the tap because it's a Moen tap, and apparently they're guaranteed for life. So I don't want to wreck it and not be able to have them replace it.
I've been seeing some of the YouTubers with the new filters that you set it on your counter and you don't have to put it in the refrigerator and it's got a cold button or a hot button.
The reverse osmosis things.
Yeah, they set it on the counter, but I don't want one that takes out the whatever. That's
I watched one. They literally poured in a can of cola, and it went through the system. And it came out clear and tasted like water. I'm like, that's weird.
yeah, that is weird.
Weird. That was a channel in Florida.
But yeah, now it seemed like when I lived in Buodane, I think I was drinking either well water or spring water there.
Oh, that was in the house.
Yeah, that was in that house. Yeah, where I only had kerosene K1 heat.
I
And
find that kind of scary.
and then I only had ceiling fans. So therefore, therefore I only um, therefore I only had ceiling fans and that kerosene K1 heater monitor thing, and so imagine even with the temperature on the monitor thing down on like 68 with just ceiling fans going, it's just blowing, circulating that hot air.
Ew.
It would still read even though the monitor itself was down like on 68, it would still read about 85, 90 some odd degrees in that house itself. That's with all the fans, every fan I had going.
That's
So
too much.
I had no way of like no AC unit or window unit or anything like that.
I couldn't live without at least a window unit for let's say the main room you're gonna stay in most of the time, or the bedroom, and I'd stay there.
Well, it cooled off here, so I took the air conditioner out of my room. I just have the fan on. Of course, then it warmed up again. Hello, Crossover Paranormal. Welcome in.
Hey, crossover paranormal.
Hey, crossover.
And downstairs, we've kind of been going back and forth. We have it on cool, and now it's just on dehumidifying.
And so therefore I was like, I'm not used to being in a house or even or anywhere that I've lived without at least central heating and air. And so that's the reason why I wanted to break my lease early and move here where I'm at now currently.
That's not a healthy environment for, especially for a person with a disability. Like,
Well, and two, I was only allowed, I was limited to how many days I could go see Dad. I was only allowed to go see him 3 days a week versus only uh, versus 5 days a week now. So unless I've got a doctor's appointment or something, but other than that, I go visit him 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Uh, but because it was just too far for transportation services to come and get me, because I was taking up, I lived way out there in the sticks, so to speak, they call it, out there in the middle of nowhere.
Way
And
out west.
And the only store I had closest by was a Dollar General store. Everything else was
Oh, Dollar Generals are everywhere.
that was the closest. That was the closest store I only had, and I was taking up a driver at least almost 4 hours a day. It was almost 2 hours going and 2 hours coming back. Now I'm only about 30 minutes from Dad now. And I'm a lot closer to Dad now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just being nosy here. Yep. At 9 o'clock, right? You guys can head over, check out Thursday trivia. Not sure what the topic is, but it looks like Denise from Bone Tire Travelers will be there. So I'll take it up to 8 o'clock here tonight, and then you guys can head over, check out Scott's at 9.
Yeah, Scott had put out a poll. Did you want a two truths and a lie, or would you want questions? So I don't know what won.
I don't know. I was trying to look at the thumbnail, see what it was saying.
Yeah. That's controversial cruising, Scott. Scott!
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, you'll get to meet Chris and Liz when you go for that NCL cruise.
Are they going on that cruise?
They're going to the meetup.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, you get some rest, Liz. Sorry to hear you got the plague again. Yeah, you get to meet Kenny.
Oh, that was last week's. Well, I remember doing a survey on it. So.
Yeah. Get some rest, Liz. Hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, Liz.
Yeah, COVID. Know a couple other YouTubers that we talked to, not naming names, that they've got COVID too.
Well, it's like the common cold now. Just another version of
I went to my primary care doctor last Thursday for the last time because she's leaving the office, so I had to switch everything over to here in Bakersville. Because they think that the one that they're supposed to be getting to fill in is not going to be coming in. So, so she's been recommending her patients go over here to Mountain Community Health Partnership in Bakersville.
I keep forgetting to call our public health unit. I'm due for my tetanus booster in February.
Well, see, I was actually shocked and surprised because I was going to get my regular seasonal flu shot, but they didn't have them in stock. So
Some of them around here don't come out till sometime in October, and I'm just trying to decide what I need to get first, whether I get that or whether I get see if I need to get my booster for the tetanus booster early, or
Yeah.
I have to contact the health unit and see what they're
Well,
immunizing.
see, they couldn't even pull up my. I'm gonna have to figure out a way of getting my shot records from Tennessee because they couldn't even pull up my shot records.
Well, I know I got my last booster when I was working for the doctor I was working with, because I went check. I was thinking, oh, I'm should be due soon, and I went and found my immunization records and looked at them, and I was a year overdue. So I went into to work and it's like, oh, we got some in the fridge at work. So I handed to him, give me the shot. So he filled out my immunization card, so it's coming up on 10 years in February. So I was like, I might want to get that a little bit early. But then want to
Yeah.
should I get my flu shot? Shouldn't I get my flu shot?
See, I thought I was due for a also a pneumonia shot because I was told that you're supposed to get those every 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So see here, they're not covered unless you're over 65. So I was like, okay.
Oh, in Canada, they don't. Insurance doesn't pay for them unless you're over 65.
Nope. Pneumonia, the shingles, and something else. I was sitting with my aunt at her doctor appointment, and the big thing was on the wall. I was looking at it, going, "Okay, well, you don't have to get that or that yet, not for a few more years." I thought it was over 60, but it's over 65. It's like, okay, that's fine.
But yeah, I just say I because I thought because I'll be honest with you, I don't. I think it's been past 5 years since I last had a pneumonia shot, and she was telling me, said, well, it depends on which one you got. And I was like, well, I didn't know that there was.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Well, she said that there was one that you can get that's only good for you only get uh, once a year
Hmm.
or something like that.
I was wondering when my kids are due, because they would have got them around 15, 16, and I don't know whether they. My oldest has his immunization records. I don't know where my youngest did with his. Or maybe I'm with his. I keep mine with my passport, so maybe his is in his passport. I'll have to ask him,
Yeah.
because he'd be probably overdue. Might be making an appointment to get all of us poked.
Yeah. But
I,
I just
I just
uh,
believe, I was gonna say I believe in staying on top of those things like the your tetanus ones, because if you don't aren't up to date on it, and you go in with a cut or something, or stepped on a nail or something, it's like, are you up to date on your tetanus? And you go, I don't know. The first you're gonna do is they're gonna poke you anyways.
how often are you supposed to get those? Are you supposed to get those ever so often?
Well, I know in Canada it's every 10 years. You get,
Every 10 years you get tetanus shot.
it's diphtheria and tetanus.
Uh, I could probably Google see what it is for U.S.
But we'll see.
I don't know what it is because I haven't had a tetanus shot a long time.
I know that. They asked me about the. Now thinking, they asked me about the pneumonia shot when I went to see the new doctor a few years ago. It was like I said no because it was like the time they were giving me. They gave me the. That was. I guess it was after COVID. Yeah, because we had masks on when we went to the doctor. He gave me my flu shot, and I'd had. Cause I already had 2 COVID shots plus one booster, and then I got COVID anyways.
I didn't get the shot. I didn't get the shots. Wasn't going to. I heard too much bad, not enough good, and I said I'm not getting it. But I had COVID 3 times.
Hey, Big Hope Bus, how are you doing? We were talking. V and I were talking about you on the weekend.
Hey, Hope Bus.
She was telling another lady that's doing a. They're redoing a school bus. We're talking about your build.
Okay, it says adulthood, a booster shot every 10 years after the adolescent dose. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
ADOLE.
Adolescent. That's in your teens.
Yeah.
So I know our kids get them at 2, 4, and 6 months, and then I think they get them at.
That's for infancy.
I think they get one at 18 months, and then they get one at between 4 and 5, and then 10 years from there they get between 15 and 16. So that'd be the adolescent dose. So they would be due around 25, 26. I don't know whether my kids have had them.
Yeah.
Well, my youngest is 27, so I don't. I know. I'm gonna have to ask afterwards.
But yeah, I just I like to make sure that I'm keeping up to date on all that stuff.
I do too. Somewhere I have my old original little car, but it was falling apart. So I was working in the doctor's office. We got a bigger ones. My whole world changed living full time off grid, creating our homestead. We have 4 goats, 3 sheep, 2 pigs, 10 ducks, 59 meat chickens, and 15 egg layer chickens. Wow. That's
Wow.
quite the homestead. That's pretty cool.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of animals.
I would love to have the egg laying chickens because the price of eggs is ridiculous. Of course, I don't know. Feeding the animals, that's another expense there too. I watch quite a few homestead channels. It's cool to watch. A whole McDonald.
Been hanging in there, Hope Bus.
We're doing pretty good. B and Steve and I went to Michigan to the M25, the gathering meetup this past weekend. Met a lot of YouTubers. There was a couple schoolies there, and then somebody came in with a huge, I don't know, like a charter bus size that they were building out, but we never got a chance to see it because the lady caught poison ivy and it was spreading up towards her eyes, so they left like the next day. And I'm like, oh, dang, didn't get a chance to see that one. But it would have been cool to see. I've seen Captain Jack Schoolie, and the other one doesn't have a channel. They're just it's a lady and her husband and their dog, the little dog Oliver. He was cute, but the lady had been the one building out the schoolie. Yeah. It's kind of something we look forward to doing every year, going to that meetup. because we made friends with a couple of the seasonals there. And the one works at the campground, so pretty cool. We spent a few days ahead of time there too, and just check things out. Anyhow, been on here for an hour. I'm still catching up. Kenneth, are you still enjoying where you're living?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I love it here. It's pretty peaceful and quiet when you're in here by yourself, but you can really hear the upstairs people though. Sorry, I got choked
That's okay.
because I was eating sunflower seeds.
But you're doing pretty good being living independently.
Yeah, I do pretty good. Yeah, I don't have anybody that helps me with anything hardly. Now every now and then, a neighbor will maybe like I'll have a neighbor like help me take my trash off to the dumpsters around the back because I'm physically not able to do that. But
You had quite a few that helped you when you guys had the flooding and stuff,
yeah,
making sure you were okay and that you had what you needed.
my birthday's gonna be a lot better this year. I hope.
Wood. No storms, no flooding, no hurricanes, please.
Hopefully, it'll be a lot better this year.
It's gonna be.
At least your 30th was kind of memorable.
Yeah.
Not on the good side, but
Yeah. But
30's
but
been
yeah, we actually got a new maintenance guy now, and he's pretty good about getting things done when they need to get done. So
Danny says she knocked on her head too.
yeah.
Knock on wood. My wooden head. I'll see it. Toby said, "Hey, just in case she's not able to see the comments when she listens to the replay." Hope Bus says, "Hey, B." They had a meeting of some kind tonight, so they weren't able to make it into the live stream. So I will tell her. I'll tell her about your little zoo there, your homestead. That's pretty cool. I would love to get out of this townhouse and go find some place and have space to have animals. The only thing we have left here is one little cat. I'll say kitten, but she's not a kitten. She's 5 years old.
I was gonna say, how is your dog doing?
Our dog passed on August 2nd.
Oh, ouch. Callie?
Callie, yep. He
Sorry to hear that.
was diagnosed with lymphoma in late June and passed on the 2nd of August.
Ouch. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was kind of rough. I still, he used to go up to the door while I'm on a live stream and then scratch at the door. It's like, I don't have to worry about the dog coming in and disturb me while I'm on my live stream now, but I can't leave the door open because the cat will come in here and wander around. And knock on wood, she gets fixed in October. Thank goodness.
So, you only have a cat now?
Yeah, we're down. We had 2 cats and a dog. The older cat, which was older, just a little bit older than Callie, his name was 7. And not the brightest cat. He had a habit of eating things he shouldn't have, and most of the times it was some kind of silicone thing, and it would block his digestive tract. And over the last few years, he's had two or three surgeries, and each time it was over like it was $3,000 to $4,000. And they had made the decision if something happened again that they couldn't really afford to put that out. Well, they ended up almost paying $1,000 just to have the cat put down, and that was the day before my youngest son's birthday,
Mm.
and that in this past March, and then August, 2 days before my oldest birthday, Callie passed away. So just gonna get through this year without losing any more animals is the goal.
I understand. It's definitely rough when you lose animals, especially when you really get attached to them.
You do. Like, well, Callie slept with me most of the time, except for the last month or it was like, well, because I was staying at my aunt's because when my aunt had the surgery, she was at her friend's, so I stayed at her place to watch her dog.
Mm-hmm.
After she came home, I stayed there a few days, and then I came home here, and that's after Callie was sick. So I was sleeping on the couch downstairs because it was hard for him to get upstairs and up on my bed. So I still slept on the couch downstairs. And then
But
the night he passed, I slept on the couch downstairs because I didn't want. I didn't feel comfortable leaving him alone down there.
I understand.
It's weird. It's weird. But my son does think he's going to get a dog for quite a while, and he said if he gets another dog, he wants something smaller.
Because that was a very huge dog, wasn't it?
Well, he was a cross between a German Shepherd and a Doberman, so he was more of a Doberman size. He wasn't huge, but he was still 65, 70 pounds.
Uh,
It's good and solid, but
that's like if I ever get another animal. Of course, if I get one while I'm here, I have to pay a pet deposit. But
hey, Georgianne, been a while since I've seen you.
Hey,
hey,
Georgianne.
Jordan.
Did you make it home safe? As I said, you got the little key that Georgianne made.
That is cool. But anyway, yeah, if I ever get another dog, it sure won't be no German Shepherd like what I had. um, it's gonna be something small, right? A lot easier to handle.
I like the size of my aunt's dog. It's a good size, and she's a poodle mix. And seen one on the weekend. His name was Oliver, and he was a King Cavalier poodle mix. So called him a Cavi poo, and he was cute. They got a short coming out with him and his little raincoat on. And then there was two Dukes. There was Time for Exploring's Duke, which is a Australian Shepherd Corgi mix. And then there's Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorillas Duke, who is a Mastiff Staffordshire mix. Then we had a little dog beside, 2 doors down from us, Diego, a little Jack Russell. Quite a few different dogs around there. Most of them were pretty friendly. I did hope we made it safe too. Yep, we took our time. We got to Port Huron. We went out for dinner. We're kind of later than we planned, but went out for dinner, and then me and Steve brought me home. It's kind of our tradition to stop at Bob Evans.
Yeah.
Across from the what was it? Hampton Inn by Hilton. We stayed at a few times, and it's just across the road from there. So we've gone quite often.
Yeah, I usually even when I go and visit my dad during the day, I usually call him every night before I go to bed. So
That's nice. I thought I was going to kind of unplug for while we were away. It was like, no, there's Wi-Fi there. That was one that snapped at everyone. The little Jack Russell, Diego. I didn't have problems when they first came, but when they first got there, because there wasn't too many people around. But I know it's once a lot of people got there, that dog was really snippy. And I'm not big on the smaller, yak-eared little dogs, especially any of the Jack Russells or Chihuahuas. I think Diego was a Chihuahua. They seem to be really easily nippy, kind of thing.
I know I had a Chihuahua, and I also had a Chihuahua and Rat Terrier mix.
I think there was around 40 something.
And both of them, they were really attached to me. They were so attached to me that my dad couldn't even get nowhere near me because if he did, he was asking to, and that was just in their nature. They were that protective of me, and both of them were, and they would also sometimes fight because the female dog, the Chihuahua, was on one side of me, and the Rat Terrier and Chihuahua mix, he wanted to be on the other side, and they couldn't decide on which side they wanted to be.
Looks to be about 46 people. It's hard to unplug when you go away. I'll be in Switzerland March 13th for 6 days. Cool. Um, the to bring chocolate candy for bingo. It had a wafer in it. The coffee crisp V brought that has like wafer. It's got like a two wafers, and then it's got like a bubbly coffee flavored thing in the middle.
I think I did a taste test on one of those, didn't I?
Oh, I believe so. I'll have to get some more chocolate bars, Canadian chocolate bars. They're expensive though, right? It was a Canada to Canada. Yep. She brought. I think she brought those. Did she bring Kit? I think she might have brought Kit Kats too, and they're a wafer.
Hmm.
The coffee crisps were about that big, and they're probably about that thick. And then the Kit Kats. Well, you guys have Kit Kats in the States. I did
Yeah,
a I did a taste test on those because I got one on the Carnival Horizon, and I had one left from the Halloween candy I'd brought with me, and I compared them, and it's like pretty close. I like the chocolate on the Canadian one better though.
is is yours different than the ones that we have in the States?
And the Kit Kat, well, kind of the mini bars. Um, one was a little, I think the U.S. one was a little longer, and the Canada one was a little thicker. And The one from the U.S. is made by Hershey,
Yeah.
and it says may contain peanuts, whatever it is. And then the one in Canada is made by Nestle, and
Ah,
it's made in a peanut-free facility. So
okay.
there's that difference too. I was like, oh, interesting.
Okay. Let me ask you this: did it make your tongue sucker?
Chocolate always does, Kenny. Because I did the candy bar bingo. Some people were winning like almost 30 candy bars, and they were sharing them around the table because like, I'll never eat all these. So I had I don't how many Snickers. I had some Reese's peanut butter cups. It's like I shouldn't be eating this stuff. Coffee crisp.
Well, that's like I was. That's like when I went to my doctor, my primary care doctor last week, and of course, every time you go to the doctor, they always weigh you. Well, they use kilograms, so I was like 55. I think it was like 55.3 kilograms. And they said, so I was like, what is that in pounds? And she looked it up. It was 120,
Wow, you lost a lot.
120 pounds. And I don't know how,
You lost
because
a
I do not know how, because I have been packing away the food. I have really been packing away the food, especially when I go to those church functions and they feed after service.
Oh yeah. I'm mad at myself because I lost over 30 pounds last year before the cruise, and then I misbehaved since then, and I've put that weight back on and then some. And I'm trying to eat healthy, and depends on what we have around for groceries. And sometimes there's too many treats or snacks around, and it's like my aunt bought me a whole bag of cheesies today. I was like, great, because I'll end up sitting there and eating most of those. So much talk about chocolate. I gotta go get a treat. It was nice to see you guys. Say
You,
happy.
you too, Hopeless.
Thanks for stopping by, Victoria.
I hope to eventually get to meet you in person one day, Hopeless.
We got to meet her. Have a great weekend.
Ha- have you and V got to meet Hopeless yet?
V did. I didn't.
Okay.
But I will say hello to her for you.
But yeah, the thing about it is that I weighed like 100. I think it was almost like 140 pounds or so while I was at the Greens getting my rehabilitation and strength built back up and stuff. Um, I yeah, and I don't know.
Where did it went to?
I don't know where it went.
Well, I remember back a couple of years ago, you were trying to lose weight because the doctor said you had too much weight.
Yeah, one time at one time, I kid you not, I actually weighed almost, I think it was 185, almost 190 pounds.
Wow.
And, yeah, and, I had to, um, so I kind of, I kind of pretty much had quit, I had cut back on a lot of eating, and then then I wound up then I wound up getting down to 102 pounds, and then I started getting too low, so I had to get some of those protein shakes, those booster
Yeah. The
and
booster,
then
sure. And
yeah, I had to get some of those to build my body mass back up because they told me so if I didn't, I'd start losing uh, body mass index and start losing my muscle tone and stuff, and they said that my eventually my organs would quit functioning properly.
you got to find the happy medium in there.
Yeah, so yeah, so I had because I've kind of asked, different. Of course, I know each doctor's going to tell you something different each time. I've kind of asked what is a good weight for somebody that's only 4'9". And they're like, they couldn't really tell me. So
A lot of things go into factor too, your age and all that stuff.
yeah, well, I know one of the reasons why they don't want me to have a lot of weight on me because it'd make it harder for me to be able to get up and move around.
True. I would just like to find that happy medium again that I had last year. It's like, oh, trying,
Trying to find that happy medium like you did last year.
trying to find it is not working out as easy as it did last year, but we'll try to get back down to a decent weight because my body's knowing it, like my knees and my back, and it's like, hey, I didn't have this last year. I was carrying less weight, but oh well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Hope Bus says you're welcome on the homestead anytime, Kenneth. She's in Sundridge, Ontario, in the middle of a forest, 6 minutes from a beach, 15 minutes from the highway.
Mm.
Sounds like a peaceful area.
Yeah, it does.
Well, folks, tried to end it before. I am going to end it this time. Thanks for coming by. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing for next week. We'll figure something out. I got to figure out a new plan for year 5, see what's going to go on. We'll talk about that next week. What's going to happen year number 5. Thanks for coming by.
Bye.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Love you guys.